up, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's John. This is my very first YouTube video, and I don't mean to brag or anything, but it's probably going to be the best video you've ever seen. On this channel I do tech videos, and not only do I do tech videos, I do tech videos that sometimes get interrupted by cats, and that's pretty cool. Literally the second I hit record. So I've been wanting to start a channel like this for a while, and I've lacked the push to do it. I've been scared. I thought maybe some of my friends will think this is weird, but I've just come to the point where there's quarantine happening, the coronavirus is a thing, and nothing really matters anymore, so I might as well do what I want to do. And so that leads me to the purpose of my very first YouTube video, which is a little bit embarrassing for me. If you know my history, you know that I'm a big Android guy. I've had Android phones since the Galaxy S Captivate, but the embarrassing thing is I decided to switch to the iPhone. You might be wondering why now? Why switch to the iPhone now if you've been with Android for 10 years? Why not just get another Android phone? I really was impressed with iOS 14. When that was unveiled, I was like, this seems like it's getting more and more like Android. And that can be viewed as a negative thing. In fact, a lot of people would argue that Apple's not being innovative, they're just copying features from Android, they're being slow to adopt them, which I'd say they're all pretty true, but I was like, if iOS is going to be more like Android, why not just give it a shot? Some features in particular that I was really encouraged by. One big one was widgets. I love the widgets on my Android, and I thought, now that they've introduced widgets, they're only going to grow and get better. And they also introduced the ability to set default apps. Now, it's still not great. You can only set like default email, default browser. Still working on being able to set default maps, because your boy does not want to use Apple Maps. Those features are really great features that Android has had for quite a long time, but instead of making fun of Apple for not adopting those sooner, I'm just going to say, wow, thank you, Apple, for finally doing this. I think it's important to note, too, that a big reason I wanted to switch was my community, the people around me, all my really good friends. They all have iPhones. In particular, the most important person in my life, my wife, she has an iPhone, and I've wanted iMessage for a very long time. I've always been so jealous of that. That's the reason that I've always said if I switched to iPhone, it would be for iMessage. And I think that rings pretty true still. And the main reason I switched was for iMessage. And another big thing, and something that I'm ashamed to admit, is that I really wanted to use an Apple Watch, which I have right here, and makes me feel like a bit of a fraud that I have that now. But I love it, and I think it was a great choice, and I think that getting an Apple Watch is worth having an iPhone for. Editor John here, interrupting the video. I realized I forgot to tell you what phones I'm using, and that would be the Pixel 4 XL, as well as the iPhone 12. Not the iPhone 12 Pro or the Pro Max, iPhone 12. So that's Pixel 4 XL, iPhone 12. All right, thanks. Back to the video. So at the time, I was using the Garmin Vivo Active 3 Music. I was using a Spigen Clear case that I bought off Amazon for $12, which I highly recommend. It honestly is just fine, perfectly good. I now have the Apple orange silicon MagSafe case, and I don't think it is so much better than that $12 case that it justifies spending that much money for it. So take this as a little tip from John that you should not spend $50 for the Apple branded stuff, and you should go on Amazon and find a case that way. I do have to confess that while I also did get the Apple Watch, I wound up buying a pair of AirPod Pros as well. I guess if I'm gonna dive in, I might as well dive in fully and get submerged and drown in the Apple ecosystem. Now I would like to talk about what I like about iOS. So before I get into ripping the development teams to shreds and talking about how much more I know about app development than Apple, I'd like to at least point out the things that I really, really love. The first one, I've talked about it before. I'm going to talk about it again because I think it's the thing that Apple did the most right about anything that I think they've ever done on these phones, and that is iMessage. It's awesome. I love being able to easily talk to my friends, send pictures, all that. I don't have to worry about if I have service. All I have to do is connect to Wi-Fi, and I don't have to deal with those pesky little green bubbles anymore that you guys always get on to me about. So you're welcome, world. I now have blue bubbles, and you can just shut up. So another thing that I really, really like about iOS is simply sharing things from an app is worlds better than the sharing experience from Android. Like, so much better. In Android, it is so convoluted. There's like 1,000 different setups and interfaces, and apps do them all differently, and it's just wildly different between apps, and I hate that. So I'm very thankful for the iOS way that they do it. It's very standard, it's straightforward. Sharing pictures is so easy. The shortcuts on iOS are something that I didn't even really know about that have honestly blown me away. I am shocked that Android does not really have a native way to do these shortcuts. Like, you can do a lot of things on your phone that you just wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Like, I set it up to where I can double knock on the back of my phone, it opens the camera. I can triple knock on the back of my phone and it opens up the Google Assistant. I even was able to set up a shortcut that automatically switches to dark mode at night, and then in the morning it will automatically switch to light mode for the day, only to find out very quickly from my wife that that is actually a setting that I could have set up in the settings of my phone. So it's pretty cool that I was able to innovate a feature that already existed on my phone. Now it's time to talk about all the things I hate about the iPhone. The first one, the biggest thing that I miss about Android, the thing that I do not understand why Apple does not want on their phones, is a freaking back button. To me, this is so intuitive. It is the most useful thing about Android, apparently. I feel like it should just be completely just a part of every operating system, but the back button should just be able to be accessed at the bottom of the screen at all times. I think that it's so easy to just press this back button or swipe, do the gesture for the back button. The back button kind of exists, but it just does not exist in the way that it does on Android, and I just miss that so much about Android, and I find myself wanting it almost every single day. It just makes too much sense. I don't know why you won't do it, Apple. Please, please, please just add a native back button. The next thing that drives me absolutely insane is why I can't put an icon anywhere I want on the home screen. For whatever reason, Apple has decided that everything that goes on the home screen should start at the top left and go across and then down and back to the left, across. You can't put things down like in the bottom right hand corner, which makes no sense to me from a user experience standpoint. I feel like the majority of people that are using these phones are right-handed, so that would mean that my thumb is down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And so in order to put an app there, I have to fill up the entire screen to put an app that lives in the bottom right-hand corner. Because to me, that's where the most important app should go. And I just don't really get why it makes any sense to push everything to the left. Now, on Android, I could put them anywhere I want on the screen. Hey everyone, Editor John here, back again. I realize I may have just offended everyone who is left-handed, but I just wanted you to know that this feature would work if you're left-handed or right-handed. So it still is a good feature. So left-handed, you can put it in the bottom left. Right-handed, you can put it in the bottom right. So sorry, left-handed people. I don't disrespect you as people. Okay, back to the video. While iOS 14 did introduce widgets, they didn't introduce them in a way that's really all that useful. I'm glad that they're there. but in a lot of ways they're just like a big app icon at times. You can't interact with them as much as you can on Android. Like I can scroll through my entire calendar on the widgets on the calendar widget on my Android. I can scroll through my notes on the widget on my Android, and it's just not as functionally there as it is on Android because Android has had them literally since I started using Android. Another big thing I use a lot on my Pixel was the fact that I could double tap my power button and it opened my camera. I used that all the time. It was one of the most convenient features of the Pixel phone. And iPhone has this kinda through a shortcut where I set it up to double tap the back and it will open up the camera, but it just does not seem to work anywhere near as well as that double tap power button did. And I really, really miss that about the Pixel. And then the last big difference I'm going to talk about between Android and iOS is the way that you interact with notifications. I think this is a very, very big deal. I think it's one of the most important things about a phone. We're constantly getting notified of things, text messages, emails, whatever you want to be notified about. And I think it's important that you can interact with those notifications well. And I think that Android does a lot better job of interacting with notifications. The biggest thing that I think Android does better about notifications than iOS is that I just am more aware of how many notifications I have at a time. So on Android, I get this row across the top of all of the applications that have given me a notification. So I can tell if there's a text message sitting there waiting for me and I just swipe down and then I can see it. On iOS, that is not the case. I have to swipe down into the notification center to see it. I have no idea how many are up there. At times I will swipe down and not even realize that there were 30 up there, and then I get stressed out about trying to clear them. As someone who wants to not have any notifications sitting there ever unless I'm waiting to, reply to a text or waiting to interact with it later because I don't have time, I just don't want those notifications sitting there. And so when I swipe down and see that there's 30 and I have to sit there and clear them all, it takes me time, it really frustrates me. And so I don't like that about iOS at all. And then the last thing that really annoys me about notifications on iOS is I don't really understand why swiping on them is something that makes me interact with them. I really just want to swipe them away. That's what I'm used to on Android. If I swipe them, they go away. On iOS, if I swipe to the left, it starts doing something, and it's different for each app, and I don't know what is happening sometimes. So it annoys me that I have to swipe right and then tell it that I want it to go away. On iOS, I swipe it and something happens. I found this out the hard way early on when I would get a missed call and I would try and swipe it away, and all it would do is start calling somebody back. And that's just a terrifying experience. So those are the big things I like and don't like about iOS. I think that this phone is an awesome phone. I love using it, but I do like Android more. I think that Android is a better operating system for me. However, I think that the benefits that iOS provides and the iPhone provides are too big for me to pass up right now. I don't know how I'll feel in a year. Maybe I'll hate it. Maybe I'll really, really want to go back to Android. But for right now, the benefits just far outweigh the negatives. Weirdly, the iPhone becomes more flexible than the Android because I can do everything that I can on Android plus the things I can do on iOS. So, whereas before I couldn't use FaceTime or iMessage or AirDrop or anything like that, now I can, and I can use all the things I was using on Android like Google Duo, Gmail, Maps, all the things that Android provides that are better than the stuff on iPhone. I can still use those if I need to. So, in conclusion, I'm an Android guy. I'm an Android guy at heart. I think I love Android so much more than I like iOS. But for all the reasons I said before, I think the benefits right now for me are outweighing it. I really think that if Android could just have iMessage, I would go right back to Android. So I don't know if that's ever a possibility. I don't know if that's something that's in the cards, but I would pay money for that experience. I would probably pay a monthly subscription to do that. For now, I am going to just keep on using the iPhone, and I'm going to love it, and I'm going to have a great experience with it. And I guess I'm not going to be an Android user for the foreseeable future. So that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping to make more of these. If you liked it, let me know. You can give me a little like down below. You can hit subscribe, and I hope to see you soon and interact with you soon. But until then, I hope you enjoyed the best video you've ever seen on youtube.com.